Hey guys, it's Mallory.
And Lyndon.
And Lloyd.
And Ingrid.
We are playing and singing Good Riddance by Green Day.
Because nothing screams graduation like Green Day.
For anyone who is leaving Westchester next year, we'll definitely miss you. But for all y'all continuing into high school, we cannot wait to start this next chapter. So without further ado, here is Good Riddance by Green Day. Another turning point, a fork in the road. Town grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. But in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. We love you all. We'll see you in August.
We are grateful to gather together virtually to celebrate another year of growth, triumphs, lots of challenges faced here recently, and lessons learned. Thank you to our 8th grade performers, Mallory Atkinson and Lyndon Briggs, who provided the beautiful music to begin our presentation.
It's now my great pleasure and honor to recognize and thank our outgoing president of WAPA, Nicole Smith. Nicole has served for 3 years as our WAPA president and has done a fantastic job. And I thought it would be best to hear from her colleagues on WAPA and to hear from some of the faculty members that she has celebrated so wonderfully this year. So let me read some of these comments to you. Nicole has been supportive of our teachers through WAPA. She came to my home yesterday to deliver a special teacher appreciation gift. She goes above and beyond in her support of Westchester. The next quote. Nicole is kind and gracious every day. She makes each of us feel appreciated and goes out of her way to think of fun, different ways to share her enthusiasm for all of us at Westchester. She's a true wildcat who always has a smile and a positive attitude. Next speaker. She took the lead on service learnings in middle school, as well as worked with WAPA to help teachers give students access to the resources they need to be successful. Nicole has worked tirelessly for years in building a strong WCDS Parents Association, and has always done so with an incredibly positive attitude. She's a doer and isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She always has a smile on her face and will do anything for our great school. Finally, from dressing up as an elf to hand out teacher gifts at a luncheon to sacrificing time, dignity, and comfort monitoring the 7th grade camping trip, Nicole serves our school with enthusiasm and humor. She's committed to developing all aspects of our mission and even introduces activities such as making mats for homeless people out of grocery bags. We can't thank you enough for all that you've done leading our volunteers, Nicole. Congratulations, and thanks for everything. It's my honor today to present a special award to a member of our faculty. This award is the 2005 award. Established in 2005 as part of the endowment campaign and as a permanent award to recognize outstanding faculty leadership, the Class of 2005 Faculty Award recognizes a faculty member each year for extraordinary commitment to nurturing character, integrity, and leadership in the Westchester school community. This award is presented to a member of the Westchester faculty who, during the course of the academic year, has taken time to give him or herself in a special way as mentor, confidant, tutor, or friend to students and faculty. The award is created to affirm the kind of selfless, one-on-one support, instruction, good humor, and friendship that characterize our community at its very best, and turns an academic environment into a positive place for creative learning and personal growth. It's my great honor to announce that the Class of 2005 award goes to Frank Morelli. Frank is a native of Philadelphia, received his BA in English and Journalism from Albright College, and an MS in Education in English from CUNY Queens College. Frank came to Westchester in the fall of 2005. In 2012, he accepted a job at Summit School, which enabled him to dive more into his writing. We are so grateful that he was able to return to Westchester in 2017 and teach again in our middle school. Much has happened for Frank in these years. He completed his first novel, No Sad Songs, in 2018, which was a YALSA Quick Pick for Reluctant Readers nominee and winner of an American Fiction Award for Best Coming-of-Age Story. And I believe he just found out that No Sad Songs will soon be made into a movie. The second book in his debut middle grades series, Please Return to Norbert M. Finkelstein, in 2009, was a Book Excellence Award finalist. His fiction and essays have been featured in various publications, including the Saturday Evening Post, Cobalt Review, Philadelphia Stories, and Highlights magazine. His division head had this to say about Frank. Frank has a special superpower. He sees the best in everyone. He encourages colleagues with a smile, cheerful word, or helping hand. He supports students to try new things and take risks. He delights in tiny things, especially tiny hands, and celebrates the big accomplishments of his students inside the classroom and on the courts and stage. He even makes diagramming sentences fun, and that is certainly a feat. Some comments from his students. My favorite thing about Miss Morelli is that he is so caring. He always checks in on you, and you can truly see the joy of teaching in his face. I always look forward to his class. He is hilarious, and he always encourages me. Another student remarked, Mr. Morelli, you never fail to make me laugh in class and put smiles on everyone's faces. Your teaching and writing skills are unmatched, and you always help me understand even the hardest concepts. Your positive attitude and glass half full mentality is why I love being in your class. I would always look forward to your class every day with excitement about what I would learn. I don't know where I would be without you. Thank you so much for teaching me. I'll never forget all of the amazing lessons I've learned from you. And finally, Mr. Morelli is living proof that the phrase, "those who can't do teach," is false. Not only does he teach and write, he does an impeccable job at both. The list of memories I have in his classroom go on and on. Congratulations, Frank, for Frank Morelli, the recipient of the 2005 award. The T. Austin Finch Chair of Distinguished Teaching was created in 2010 to reward faculty for outstanding classroom teaching and commitment to the Westchester Country Day School mission. This lifelong learner and master teacher seeks to inspire learning in each student while supporting and encouraging academic excellence and extracurricular pursuits. The recipient is appointed to the chair for one academic year and will retain the title of Finch Distinguished Teacher throughout his or her career. I'm very pleased to announce that the recipient of this year's T. Austin Finch Chair of Distinguished Teaching is Vicki Sloop. Vicki joined the lower school faculty in the fall of 2008. She came to us with over 20 years of experience teaching elementary schools in South Carolina. She holds a bachelor's in elementary education from Appalachian State University and a master's of education in gifted education from Converse College. She's a dedicated teacher and student. Her list of professional development accomplishments is long and impressive, including the Library of Congress Teacher Institute in Washington, D.C., and the National Endowment for the Humanities Teacher Institute in Lowell, Massachusetts. 2 years ago, Vicki moved to the middle school and has had quite an impact. Here's what her division head had to say about Vicki. Vicki Sloop is Wonder Woman. She possesses an arsenal of advanced technology, including the lasso of wisdom, a pair of indestructible bracelets made of compassion, a tiara, which allows her to see into the future and plan accordingly, and a range of devices that provide humor, support, and talent for every possible scenario. Some thoughts from a couple of her students. There's never a moment where she isn't trying to bring our spirits up. She's always looking out for us and tries to help each and every one of us no matter what the problem. All in all, she's an amazing teacher and an even better person. And I can confidently say that Mrs. Sloop's intentions each and every day is to make everyone around her happy. From another student. Mrs. Sloop, you are so funny and so kind. Your laugh is one of the things that keeps me going throughout the day. I can't even count how many times you've helped me or given me mercy. I love and appreciate you. You are also the best advisor ever. Without you, our advisory would be okay, but not great. Thank you for all that you have done for me, and I will miss you and love you. Thank you indeed, Vicki, and congratulations.
This year's recipient of the Teacher of the Year award goes to an individual who is a very animated teacher and truly engages our students. He is a wonderful coach, advisor, and even takes our kids camping every year. This man can turn any situation into a teachable moment and possesses the gift of a true educator. Here are some direct quotes from faculty and parents who have had the joy of getting to know this teacher. Mr. Burns is committed to ensuring that the students he teaches emerge from his classroom having an awareness of global current events and drive to be socially responsible, contributing members of society. He stresses the importance of being a well-rounded individual rather than simply just striving for A's. His passion and energy in the classroom are something to behold, as he is unmatched in his sense of humor. I will greatly miss all the laughter he brings into my life on a daily basis next year when he retires. Another faculty member stated, Mr. Burns has gone out of his way every day to be a champion for the community here at Westchester. He has a deep love of what he does and deeply cares about his students feeling connected to their learning and to their school. He has built his classroom around making fun connections to the curriculum. Mr. Burns engages students even to the point of putting his body on the line. Between track and cross country, being department head, taking on service learning in the middle of school, Jeb has done countless things to benefit and service his students in the Westchester community as a whole. One parent mentioned, my daughter says his class is engaging and fun, and she loves Mr. Burns. He has turned around her view of history class from negative to positive. He is organized and a strong communicator. We will appreciate him. A student said Mr. Burns is extremely funny. He helps you when you are confused. There is never a dull moment in his class. We always have fun as we learn. He is such a great teacher, and he will be missed. Mr. Burns' fun projects and hands-on learning have always been a favorite. We love his spontaneous field trips around school and the fact that he has the ability to make our class laugh every time he walks into the room. Mr. Burns is an amazing teacher, and we had so much fun in his class. Thank you for giving us an awesome middle school experience. It is clear Mr. Jeb Burns is very deserving of this Teacher of the Year award. After all, he does play a mean inflatable guitar. Congratulations, Mr. Burns. You will be missed dearly by all of our Wildcat staff and families.
It is with a heavy but a full heart that we celebrate the retirement of Mr. Burns. Our Wildcat Nation has been blessed to be the recipients of the love and care of Jeb Burns for over a decade. Anyone who has witnessed Mr. Burns in the classroom, specifically a middle school classroom, can witness to the fact that Jeb is answering a calling. In fact, if you're even in the vicinity of the building in which he is teaching, you can attest to the enthusiasm and passion for history and education that he shares so willingly with his students. His dedication to care for and positivity affect each and every student in a remarkable way. I want to share with you a top 10 list his students helped me create. This is the top 10 list of activities Mr. Burns should not pursue during his retirement. Drum roll. Number 10, a bus driver. He has too much fun singing and dancing while driving over speed bumps. Number 9, an actor. He has killed himself daily with the sword that he keeps in his classroom. It is not believable. And did you see him in the Stuck in the middle school video? Number 8, a fashion diva. His American flag shirt and kilt are not exactly considered haute couture. Number 7, a ninja warrior. Again, the sword skills are just not there. Number 6, a valley girl. His usage of, oh my gosh, is a bit stuffier and comes across as, oh my gosh. Number 5, a design artist. His map drawings leave a bit to be desired. Mrs. Bayless would agree. Number 4, a respected movie critic. He loves High School Musical. Number 3, a spy. Let's face it, he's way too loud for anything undercover. Number 2, a cleaning specialist. His affinity for and contribution to creative and artistic mess would get in the way. And finally, number 1, any activity that does not put Mr. Burns into contact with his Wildcat Nation, because we don't know what we will do without you. Mr. Burns, you are irreplaceable and you will be missed. Thank you. Our first student award today is the Freddie Kirkman Award. Freddie Kirkman is an amazing woman who taught, mentored, and guided every member of the Westchester community for almost 30 years. Freddie is a model of authentic, innate compassion, and she shares that compassion with students, parents, friends, and colleagues in such a graceful manner that we are all better people for it. She makes deep personal connections with each encounter, causing everyone she meets to feel special and important. There are 2 recipients of this award today. The first recipient, Lyndon Briggs, is extremely worthy, as she very naturally makes deep personal connections with everyone she encounters. The first recipient of this award today, Lyndon Briggs, is extremely worthy, as she very naturally makes deep personal connections with each encounter. Lyndon has purposefully navigated the middle school struggle, which can seem to pit leadership against popularity and compassion against domination. Time and again, she has demonstrated a maturity beyond her years. In our advisory group sessions, she is the first to encourage the group to try something new or have a cheerful attitude while doing something a little bit tedious. In student government, as the president, she is an attentive listener who volunteers first to help or lead a project. She is the first president that I have seen in my 21 years at Westchester who shared this community morning meeting spotlight and microphone with her classmates daily. She invited Abby up for a weird fact of the day, Harry for a joke, and Isabella for an inspirational quote. Her community morning meetings during this quarantine time were the highlight of the day for most teachers and students. She began each with a reassuring message. I know this is hard, but we're going to get through it. And an offering of assistance. If you need someone to talk to, call me. That maturity is rare. Lyndon is genuine and thoughtful when dealing with classmates, teammates, teachers, and siblings, Sydney, Hadley, and Jack. Like her birth order, she is often in the middle of whatever is happening. However, that sets her apart is her ability and desire to be comfortably in the middle while leading with certainty, clarity, and always compassion. She is a treasure in every sense of the word. The next recipient of this award is Maggie O'Keefe. Her advisor, Vicki Sloop, will elaborate.
The Freddie Kirkman Award is awarded to a middle school student who exhibits compassion, kindness, and a genuine care for others. As I think about the recipient of this year's Freddie Kirkman Award, I've pondered a bit about hands. Hands are interesting. My husband likes to scare me with this hand. He does things like put it under the bed of a hotel room to frighten me when I come in. This year's Westchester students have been fascinated with these tiny hands, which can evidently entertain middle schoolers for hours. However, the hands of this year's award recipient are not scary hands or tiny hands. They are the helping hands of Maggie O'Keefe. Faculty, staff, and fellow Wildcats, young and old, have been helped by these hands. For example, Maggie holds the hand of her Cares Crew buddy, first grader Anna Kay Albert, who considers Maggie a super buddy. Maggie seeks out opportunities to engage with her rather than waiting for the schedule of the school-wide Cares Crew events. She initiates conversations with Anna Kate in the hallways and remembers her during holidays with special treat bags. Mrs. Albert said Maggie is an amazing role model, and Anna Kate looks up to her because of Maggie's confidence, dedication to school, and willingness to put the needs of others, such as her Cares Crew buddy, above her own. Middle school principal Mary Keever says Maggie is the first to lend a helping hand. She is struck by her innate ability to be a leader and a teammate. She states, whether in the classroom or on the golf course, in the cheering stands or on the stage, she leads with thoughtful grace when necessary and follows with humble strength at other times so others can lead. Coach Carrier says when playing in golf matches, Mags always goes out of her way to compliment the players on the other team when they hit a good shot. Miss Ruggery related how Maggie was able to quickly step into the role of Oaken in the fall production of Frozen. Mrs. Noyes felt Maggie was able to capture the character of Oaken in the performance because it rang true from the heart. She said Maggie's sensitivity to others' needs is what makes her special. Personally, I see Maggie as someone who's not afraid to get her hands dirty. She's sometimes the only remaining advisory member when it's time to clean up after a party. I've seen her give others a hand with a hard task, such as helping a younger advisory member create a student spotlight presentation, or providing them advice on how to navigate the minefield of middle school. I know I speak for all of her teachers when I express appreciation for her recent visits during the quarantine with homemade signs and encouragement for the weary. It's unusual for a middle schooler to have hands like these, but you see, this young woman has hands like her mother. She has watched the work of helping hands since she was a toddler, and now she stands at the threshold of high school ready to engage in even greater acts of service to others. Hands down, this is a deserving young lady. So I hope you will join me in giving a hand to this year's recipient of the Freddie Kirkman Award, Maggie O'Keefe.
Our next award is the Emma Paget Award. Emma Paget served as the head of our school from 1977 to 1981. In her honor, an award was established to recognize an 8th grade student who excels in compassion, academics, arts, and athletics. In other words, a wildcat striving to model our mission. We had 2 recipients that were equally compelling and exemplified these attributes. Their advisors will recognize them.
Mallory Atkinson is one of the deserving recipients of this award. She is the epitome of a well-rounded individual who exudes our Wildcat mission in all that she does. She excels in compassion, academics, arts, and athletics, making her a model, not just for her peers, but for the extended Westchester community. Mallory's dedication to artistic excellence is evident through a multitude of interests. She has been playing the violin since kindergarten, can always be found on stage during one of our fabulous school productions, and has participated in the inventive Odyssey of the Mind program for 7 years. She even possesses a special talent with ceramic arts, an often volatile art form. Just this year, she created a beautifully realistic basket of plump berries. Her contributions to the inaugural all-girls robotics team are also worth mentioning, as she plans to continue this endeavor into her upper school career. Mallory's athletic involvement further highlights what a well-rounded individual she is. She has dedicated her competitive nature to various Westchester athletic teams throughout her 3 years in middle school, including middle school volleyball, varsity swim, and varsity track. Her swim coach, Rodney Byerly, remarks, "Mallory possesses a natural level of athleticism in the water, but she is still extremely determined to improve. She often swims some of the most difficult events, has qualified for the state meet the past 2 seasons, and contributes to her relays in major ways. With continued focus, I fully expect her to accomplish big things in upper school." This quote by Coach Rodney Byerly perfectly captures the focused determination that is so characteristic of Mallory. Mallory is an excellent communicator, is self-sufficient, independent, always willing to lend a helping hand, a role model for peers, and so dependable. She always communicates when she will be absent and asks about what she missed and what needs to be done to catch up. Miss Ruggery states, "From taking every opportunity to grow as a student in the classroom to jumping on the idea for the virtual play or singing at Westchester Manor to robotics and Odyssey of the Mind, bob, violin, and still playing volleyball and swimming in the winter, she manages to balance everything with grace." Miss Loop remembers, Mallory is a voracious reader. She exhibited extraordinary leadership in the middle school bob team. She was the only member to read all 22 books on the reading list and helped lead the team to its first place victory at the district level, a first for a Westchester middle school team. Compassion and thoughtfulness could both be Mallory's middle name. She is always handing down dolls and stuffed animals for Mrs. Bayless's daughter that she once enjoyed when she was younger. She is inclusive of our 6th grade advisees and makes them feel right at home and part of our advisory family from that very first moment they visit. Without fail, whenever I see Mallory, she always asks me how my day is. When I answer, she stops to listen. And when I see her again the next time, she always follows up with a question or comment about our previous conversation. So much more than just a, hey, I'm good. Each and every interaction with Mallory is thoughtful, and she made you feel like what you had to say was important enough for her to slow down, stop, and listen. Mallory, your determined spirit will certainly have a positive impact on your success as you begin this new journey of upper school and your life beyond. We are so proud that a member of our advisory has been chosen for this distinguished award.
Isabella Reed is a recipient of the Emma Paget Award. Academically, Isabella excels in the classroom. She produces work of the highest quality. In 7th grade, she was prepared to take on the challenges of Algebra 1 and successfully comprehended complex algebraic topics, such as quadratic equations and exponential rules. She has proven herself in geometry this year by going the extra mile and asking questions when confused. Isabella's project work usually goes beyond what is expected. It is apparent that knowledge is far more important to Bella than the grade. Athletically, Isabella is a 3-season athlete. She competes in cross country, swimming, and track. I witnessed her athletic intensity in swimming. Swimmers take your mark. Bang! Isabella shoots out across the pool, hoping to once again lower her time. Coach Byerly commented, in breaststroke, Bella has made major improvements in technique, effort, and focus over previous seasons. My favorite thing about her as an athlete is her support of others in their events. Isabella enthusiastically cheers on her teammates. She wants everyone to succeed. Artistically, Isabella has a beautiful voice. She sometimes comes into the classroom singing, which certainly brightens my day. In addition, Isabella has participated in over 10 plays during her time at Westchester. When she is on stage, Bella draws the attention by performing her character to its fullest potential. Her energy is invigorating. One can't help but see how much the experience means to her. Morally, Bella makes good decisions. She is not a follower, but holds an edge about her that clearly defines who she is and what she's all about. The best thing about Isabella's character is her warmth and caring spirit. She is well liked by her peers and is greatly respected by her teachers. Bella has made it her mission to inspire us during each morning meeting by giving us a quote to ponder. One quote that I believe Bella follows on a daily basis is, "Whatever you do, do it well," by Walt Disney. Congratulations, Isabella, on receiving the most prestigious middle school award.
Our final student award today is the Scott Patterson Award. Scott Patterson was a trusted, valued, cherished member of the Westchester community who brightened the lives of everyone until he passed away in 2005. This award has been established by his family in his honor and memory to recognize individuals who add to our community as Scott did. The recipient of this award is to be an 8th grader who exhibits the qualities most apparent in Scott Patterson: strong character, integrity, extraordinary care and concern for others, and humor. Mrs. Bayless and Mrs. Grime will present the first recipient with this award.
Abby Keever is one of the deserving recipients of this award. Abby is a thoughtful friend to all, and she is not afraid to laugh at herself. Since her very first days as a middle schooler, she has embraced the awkwardness of this stage of life and made it an important part of her persona, often donning a large white puffer coat with her signature fanny pack, which she lovingly named Herschel. This is where her tiny unicorns are housed, and a handful of dum-dums are at the ready to spread joy to anyone who's in need. Mr. Morelli remembers, On the first day of school, she planted a tiny unicorn figurine on my telephone. The next day, there were 2, then 3. Before long, an entire family of unicorns were living in my classroom. They now live on the file cabinet beside my desk, on a cloud made from cotton ball fluff. True story.
This is indeed very true, because I too have a colony of tiny unicorns living on my desk. Abby decided that a sculpture I made in college would become their habitat. Every time I look at that sculpture covered in Abby's unicorns, I can't help but smile. I'm so thankful for the joy and endless laughter that Abby has brought me over the past 3 years. Any time that a tiny unicorn was found throughout the middle school building, there was no question as to where it came from.
Abby truly has confidence in who she is and embraces it, a character trait that even some of us adults could work harder on. Abby has a special gift for finding the humor in every situation. Each year, Abby has eagerly awaited our Wildcat Spirit Week just so that she can make her mother proud by wearing her poop emoji slippers to school on Pajama Day.
Ever since the 8th grade trip, I have been lovingly referred to as Mrs. Jackson. This is an inside joke that the 8th graders in my group will understand. From that day on, the trip forward, and every single time Abby sees me, her greeting is either, "Hey, Miss Jackson," or, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, woo!" She never fails to put a smile on my face and some added joy in my heart. I'm going to miss our daily interactions so very much next year, Emanon. You are truly one of a kind.
Abby is an irreplaceable member of our advisory, and as she makes her way to life as an upper school student, our precious Bayless Grind Advisory Group will never be the same. We feel certain that as an upper school student, Abby will continue to grace us with her upbeat character, strong sense of integrity, natural humility. For these reasons and so many others, the decision to honor Abby with the Scott Patterson Award was an obvious one. Congratulations, Abby. We are so proud that a member of our advisory has been chosen for this distinguished award.
Our second recipient is Ava Klein. If you saw Ava on the volleyball or basketball court this year, you could not escape the care and concern she displayed for all. Some may say that she was more interested in what was happening with her teammates than with the games themselves, but that just speaks to Ava's deep devotion to her friends and teammates, as well as her uncanny ability to entertain her teachers and coaches. She treats her teammates with a maternal love, maternal as in mama bear. Ava is ferocious in her enthusiasm and encourages and guides teammates to give 100% at every endeavor. She often chides them with a maternal, "Now, fill in the blank with anyone's name. I know you can do better than that." Mrs. Sloop noticed this same zeal in the classroom. She says Ava's sense of humor is reflected in her written and artistic expression as well. Her amazing sketch notes often reflected wit, whimsy, and wackiness. Mr. Morelli echoed those comments. Oh my, so many anecdotes for Ava. Here are 2 of my favorites. Number 1, Ava's video projects. She recently sent me a video from her YouTube channel where she instructs on how to make giant peanut butter cups in your own kitchen. It is hilarious and incredible as usual. Number 2, Ava's tiny hands. It seems they're always within reach and pulled out at precisely the right moment. She also did an entire series of short videos on Seesaw titled Sentence Diagramming with Small Hands. This series is exactly what you'd expect, but the sentences are also diagrammed perfectly every single time.
It's an honor to talk about Benedict. On any day, if you stop me in the hall to ask me about Benedict, I'll be able to talk on and on about what a great young man he is, and before you knew it, we'd both be running late. The Scott Patterson Award is given to an 8th grader who exhibits a strong commitment to compassion, kindness, humor, and acceptance. This middle school career has been a story of determination and kindness. It causes me to reflect on how the meek shall inherit the earth. Mrs. Sloop says a lot in a few words when she says, Benedict is the rare middle school boy without a mean bone in his body, who keeps the peace and welcomes the outsider. Benedict never acts to put himself forward or others down. Sometimes humility can come from weakness, having not found a strength to be haughty about. However, I imagine any middle schooler playing soccer on a varsity team would have ample excuse to gloat. Coach Schwartz had this to say, however. Having known Scott Patterson during his middle school years, Benedict and Scott would have been great friends because they both shared the same character traits. Benedict proved that he belonged, and more importantly, showed everyone around our program what an incredible teammate looks like. Awesome work ethic, respect, humbleness, and sportsmanship will always be remembered. And like Scott Patterson, his legacy will leave a lasting impact on our school for years to come. Benedict's strengths on the field were never treated as a ticket to not try hard elsewhere. Both Frank Morelli and I had the joy of tutoring Benedict, and his determination in his studies is inspiring. He never gives up. We have both received our own share of compassion from him too, when our weaknesses have shown. In advisory, Benedict has always been someone at the table who listens and includes everyone without playing it cool. Benedict often has a smile on his face, and he will always put a smile on yours. As someone who has only wished the best for others, in return everyone has nothing but good wishes for you, Benedict. If this humble strength is what it means to be meek, then we truly hope it is young people like you who will inherit the earth. You encourage us all.
Mallory Atkinson. M. Musical, such as talented and dedicated violin player. A. Adores her cat Sebastian, even when he doesn't love her back. L. Loud. Well, she can be. She can hold her own. L. Laughs and laughs a lot. Giggle is infectious. O. Organized and on top of it. This girl will get it done and 10 times better than you could have. R. Ridiculous knowledge of, well, everything. She's dabbled in gymnastics, Irish dance, Odyssey of the Mind, ceramic arts, robotics, you name it, Mallory has probably tried it. Y. Yearns to curl up on her couch and to read a good book.
Aliza Iqbal. A. Asher Angel. Enough said. L. Loves to talk. A lot. E. Easily excitable. E. Especially saucy if someone interrupts her. Z. Zillion things we love about you. A. Always count on her for the gyms.
Abby Keever. A. Absolutely, without a doubt, 100% going to marry Justin Bieber. Never mind that he's already married. He won't be by the time Abby's old enough to get married. B. Belt, but only the one in Charlotte, her favorite place to shop. B. Bring the girl a steak, please, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bonus points if it came from Charlie Palmer, specifically the one in Washington, D.C. Why? You simply cannot begin to describe the amazingness that is Abby Keever in 4 letters.
Georgia Moorfield. G. Gifted. Georgia is bilingual and speaks fluent Spanish beautifully. E. Easygoing. O. Office, as in the office. She is a self-proclaimed snob. R. Ridiculously good writer. Look for her on the New York Times bestseller list one day. G. Going to grow up and marry Chad. Wait for it. I. In love with the refrigerator in her new house. Probably loves it more than her bedroom. A. A little stitious. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Jaden Richardson. J. J-Lo is her homegirl. A. Always has a smile on her face. D. Driven. Puts forth her best effort and is persistent through challenges. E. Energy. She is always full of positive energy that rubs off on others. N. Never misses an episode of Friends. She will school you in a trivia game.
Some folks may say that I'm really lucky because I'm only going to be passing one student on to upper school, but that student happens to be irreplaceable because Thomas Kopchik is unique. He's one of a kind. The members of my advisory group put their heads together, and the word that kept coming up time and again to describe Thomas was extraordinary. We all thought it was kind of ironic that a young man who invents such vivid and imaginative characters with superhuman qualities in his writing also seems to have some superpowers of his own. Here are a few superhuman abilities we notice in Thomas Kupchak every single day. X-ray vision. Thomas is an observer. He sees all the things the rest of us miss, and he expresses this knowledge in ways that help us to see them. Ultrasonic hearing. Behind the scenes, Thomas is a talented composer who brought fresh beats and rhythms to our advisory lunch every single week. Shakespeare's pencil. We're all impressed by Thomas's ability to imagine and create out of thin air. My favorite one, ultra empathetic heart. Thomas, we know how much you care about us, and we want you to know how much we care about you. Thank you, Thomas, for sharing your superpowers with us for the past 3 years in our advisory. Congratulations on your graduation.
Finn impresses everyone with his amazing stories that are seldom heard by adults, but are a legend among his peers. He is big-hearted and kind to all in a very subtle and underspoken way. He is a devoted friend, and his friends are devoted to him. He is tenacious and strong-willed, as those who have seen him compete or have competed against him in cross-country can attest. He beats to his own drums. He is comfortable in the world of ideas, and for that I'd call him an intellectual, but he's probably not okay with that right now in his life. He is bursting with potential, and I'm so confident that when he reconciles his unique and strong will with the upper school expectations, he will be off to the stars. How do you pay tribute to someone as unique and interesting as Finn Fleming? A limerick, no doubt. Limericks are useful for capturing the essence of someone in a clever and witty way. Clever and witty are great ways to describe Finn. So here goes. There once was a young wildcat named Finnegan who did things his way again and again. His unique talents were without dispute. Now, though, hanging with friends was more his suit. Fast forward in class or on the course, he will win and win again. Finn, it has been a delight to get to know you as a student, an athlete, and an Omer. Omer is an Odyssey of the Mind participant. You will forever have a special place in my heart. As I say to all that I have the privilege to pay tribute to, I will say to you, oh, the places a guy like you will go. Finn, fare thee well, but hopefully never goodbye.
I have thoroughly enjoyed having Will in our group the last 3 years. Oh, how I will miss hearing, "Coach, can we go to the gym today?" Every single day. Will always looked to include our whole team in everything he did. His classmates used these words to describe him. The man. Funny and nice. So good at soccer. Slick. Relentless. And my personal favorite, he's just my friend. I can't wait to watch Will the next 4 years as he competes on the soccer field and discovers how much potential he has to impact Westchester. Yes, Will, we can go to the gym today. It has been a pleasure to have Max in our group the last 3 years. Max is a loyal friend and gets along with everyone. He always made the new 6th graders feel welcome and a part of the group. Our advisory group used words such as funny, cool, tennis savant, soccer stud, and wicked smart to describe him. I will always remember Max as a kid who loves to have fun and also knows when it's time to buckle down and work hard. I am excited to see Max dominate the soccer field, tennis court, and be a leader in the coming years. I absolutely loved having Tate in our advisory group this year. This was Tate's first year at Westchester, but he fit in as if he'd been here for years. Tate made friends easily, and our group absolutely loved being around him. his fellow advisees use these words to describe him: future pro, all-star, not cocky at all. I was afraid he'd be mean, but was the nicest dude ever. And my personal favorite, glad he's on my team. Tate is just scratching the surface on becoming an athlete, student, and a leader. Like one of his boys said, I'm glad he's on my team too.
Addison Chapman, always willing to lend a hand in and out of the classroom, like science summer camp last year, or helping classmates with balancing equations. Dedicated to both academics and sports, like soccer and your roller coaster project this year. Decides what she wants and will not stop until she gets it. Intelligent and inspiring are you always. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and inspiring the younger girls. She loved to watch everyone do Just Dance, or me do my Rolex dance last year. Oh, the many memories from the past 2 years will live on, like our advisory parties, many Just Dance days, the occasional gym time moments that were like a holiday, finishing spotlights at the last minute, and all of the funny times in class. Never forget where you came from and never lose sight of your dreams. We will miss you.
Katie Grace, keep our best wishes as you enter a new phase. Add so much to the group and will always save your place. Thoughtful and caring, what are the great attributes? Incredible, wonderful, and bright, proven by so many wildcat. Exciting and terrifying, the upper schoomy sound. Good luck will be always by your side. Remember to come back to see us, and we'll always have your favorite white chocolate Reese's. Cross country, soccer, and so many sports. Endless achievements will be more and more.
Perfect.
Kate, kind and friendly, the words to describe you the most. Avid fan of dance and volleyball, the things you love the most. Turquoise is your favorite color, and I'm sure wherever you go, it'll be a blast. Ever inspiring and missed. Come and see us, that is a must.
Abby Williamson, adventurous, ambitious, and adaptable. Never lose those qualities as you continue through upper school and life. They will make you go far. Basketball, volleyball, and soccer were the sports you played, but we will remember you in advisory for your dance skills. Because of you four, what makes you beautiful will always be stuck in my head. You always have a way of making people smile, even on the days they don't want to. Thank you for finding humor in most situations. We will miss you next year. Never stop reaching for your dreams. And remember, you may be in upper school, but we will still be reading you on.
Ben, Ben, Ben. Which Ben am I talking to? Well, these adjectives from your advisory peers are true for both of you, and I'm happy to elaborate. Funny. One of you has a sensationally surreal imagination, and one of you has a delectably dry commentary. Both have made us laugh. Smart. Not just an academic success, but making the right decisions about how to behave and what is important in life. Athletic. One of you is fearless on the field, the other is powerful in the pool. Friendly. All of your advisees know they can approach you and enjoy your company. Nice. One of you is nice, the other is... No, I'm just joking. Both of you are nice. Now I'll get more specific. You have both grown a huge amount since I met you as 6th graders. Literally. But your characters too. I remember Ben H. visiting our advisory with a Lego model, keeping defenses high. Now he builds robots and has an easy confidence in any room. Benedict was one of the quietest students. And while his words are still few, they're always worth listening to. And his enthusiastic improvisation in last year's advisory video showed how comfortable he can be, even under pressure. Middle school is full of challenges, and you have both ended this chapter facing them full on and triumphing. We'll be delighted to see you around as you take upper school by storm. Continue to give everything your best. If your characters keep growing at the rate that they have been these last 3 years, you will be towering landmarks, like another almost as famous Big Ben. The sky is the limit for you two.
first interactions with Bennett occurred in the cafeteria as he was welcoming a 6th grader into the fold. Although not the traditional handshake or pat on the back with a welcome to our middle school advisory, it was as heartfelt of welcome as any could be. Beyond our advisory, he was instrumental in getting the VEX robotics program off to a good start with his ability to program. His software skills allowed his team to make it to the Worlds in Kentucky, where over 400 teams from around the world competed. I have not had the opportunity to have Bennett in class, but Mr. Morelli told me how impressed he was on a daily basis with Bennett's reserved demeanor, and I quote, "There doesn't seem to be a problem or crisis scary enough to make him sweat. He is always in control and is always capable of responding to his teachers and classmates with the utmost respect. Regardless of the situation swirling around him, he is in control."
Ben Daniel is an incredibly intelligent young man and has been an amazing addition to Westchester. Ben constantly has a smile on his face and is laughing with his friends. He has someone who has a passion for his hobbies, and if you ever want to know about any local animals or hunting, this is the guy to ask. I'm sure that he would love his time in the upper school, and he will be quickly taken in by the outdoor club and Mr. Stern. Harry, oh Harry, where to begin with Harry? Harry has proven himself to be a great friend to many, a hard worker, and a leader. Through his work with the student government and his involvement in athletics, he is a great member of the Wildcat community. He will undoubtedly go on to do great things in the upper school. Harry has shown a persistence that extended into our advisory, as he's petitioned successfully to watch the movie Gnome Alone on several occasions, but sadly we were never able to finish it. I would suggest asking Mr. Hunt about adding it to his film class next year.
Charlie has been such a welcome addition to our advisory. His gentle and kind spirit has provided leadership on a regular basis. He is very thoughtful and insightful. He will watch what is occurring around him and then respond in a manner that causes us all to pause and consider his words of wisdom. Mr. Morelli shared that in the classroom, Charlie is one of the quietest students in class, as I think we would expect. But he's also one of the first to send cheerful poetry or jokes or the specs to the latest muscle car on the market. Anything to make Mr. Morelli smile. And to help Mr. Morelli get through one of those tough days. And it's uncanny how he always seems to know the right moment to send something. We are blessed to have gotten to know Charlie this year.
The Cuba Advisor Group spent a great deal of time playing night at the museum this year, so our tributes pay homage to some works of art. Lyndon Briggs, the painting we think best represents you is Van Gogh's The Bedroom. Like you, it is filled with bold and vibrant colors. It makes grand that which is simple. Your palette contains athletics, kindness, singing, acting, and energy for everything. You are a thoughtful leader who is selfless. We will miss your caring presence and the way you make everyone else feel happy. Thank you, Lyndon. Emily Carey, the painting we think best represents you is Van Gogh's Sunflowers. Like you, it represents joy and hope. The bright colors demonstrate how you are always excited, happy, and positive. When you are playing sports, especially volleyball, and cheering, your sporty, aggressive, determined side shines. Keep nurturing that as you hurtle into high school. We will miss your sweet nature. You keep us all smiling. Morgan Grace Connor, the painting we think best represents you is Van Gogh's Starry Night. Like you, it expresses emotions. Some critics believe it depicts Van Gogh's inner struggle. You too at times battle to find the balance of competition and teamwork, following the rules and being strong and independent. Let those strengths blossom, because once you master this, an indomitable leader will emerge. We will miss your sassy, funny self. Ava Klein. The painting we think best represents you is Van Gogh's The Church at Auvers. This is the expressionist take on a sacred building that caught Van Gogh's attention. Ava, you too are a respectful, mature lady who catches the attention of people with your humor and creativity on the page and with the camera. You do not take yourself too seriously, yet you are thoughtful in everything that you do. From the volleyball and basketball court to the track, and then to the robotics arena. You share your enthusiasm with all. Ladies, you will always be a part of the Kiva Advisor Group. Stay connected and stay in touch.
When reminiscing about my 8th grade advisors, the following song came to mind. How do you solve a problem like Isabella? How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you find the word that means Covington? A flibberty-gibbet, a will-o'-the-wisp, a clown. Many a thing you know you'd like to tell Riley. Many a thing she ought to understand. But how do you make her stay and listen to what you say? How do you keep a wave upon the sand? Oh, how do you solve a problem like Avery? How do you hold a moonbeam in your hand? Each young lady brought their own unique qualities to our advisory group. Isabella was the ringleader when it came to organizing parties and games. Her spirit filled the room and brought positive energy to everyone. Covington was our jokester. My favorite was the day she organized gym passes for everyone in order to go to the gym instead of working on our favorite spotlight presentations. Riley always had an opinion as to what we should or shouldn't do, what we should watch or shouldn't watch, or what we should eat or shouldn't eat. I appreciated her wisdom and matter-of-fact advice. Avery was our artist. She would always have an intricate drawing on the board for us to critique. When not drawing a picture, she would have the latest hangman challenge ready and waiting. The song stated 3 impossible tasks. How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you keep a wave upon the sand? How do you hold a moonbeam in your hand? You don't. These 4 young ladies will move on to share what is unique about each one of them with anyone who is fortunate enough to cross their paths. Well, look what I found in the library. This is Maggie O'Keefe's pencil pouch. The one that everyone's been hiding in 7th and 8th grade. I bet one of her geometry class members put it here. What's inside? Why, these are the tribute letters for 8th grade graduation to each member of our advisory. And this one's to Maggie herself. Well, let's read what they had to say. Dear Maggie, having you in advisory has been so much fun. Your outgoing personality and kind attitude really make our advisory complete. You're an amazing leader to our advisory, and we all look up to you every day. Your amazing voice, along with your love for acting, never make advisory boring. We are always singing along to wonderful songs, dancing on top of chairs and desks, which we probably shouldn't do, and listening to you harmonize with the others. We always know we can count on you for food for all our parties, especially the Christmas ham each year. We're all going to miss the fun stories, your words of advice, and tea times that you shared with us. But we know that you're going to have so much fun in high school next year. Being the well-rounded and polite individual you are, we know you won't have any trouble making tons of new friends and having a great time. We're all going to miss you so much next year. P.S. Don't get mad at us if we ask you to bring food. Keep being the amazing person you are and have a great time in high school. We love you. Sincerely, the best advisory in the world. And look, here's Morgan's. Dear Morgan Elliott, when you came to Westchester in the middle of 7th grade, our advisory was elated to have a new member. But little did we know, we not only would be graced by your stunning vocals and your gargantuan love for Michael Jackson, but we would also meet and become acquainted with the kindest and most hilarious friend we would ever have the chance of knowing. The most amazing advisory in the world would not be the same without your random outburst of high school musical dance numbers and your determination to start a round of the Zodiac game. We cannot express in words how much we're going to miss your positive influence and enormous personality, but we can say with confidence that there will never be another advisee that can fill your shoes. We can all testify that Morgan brings energy and brightness into whatever atmosphere she enters. So advisory lunch conversations and Christmas feast will be a little dimmer now, since you have moved on to the next chapter in the novel of your life. Although there will always be a missing space in the Sloop Advisory, we are excited to see you travel through high school, overcome obstacles, celebrate your achievements, and reach your aspirations. Thank you, Morgan, for making not only our advisory, but also the world shine a little brighter. We will all miss you, Sloop Advisory. Oh, that was precious. Dear Laura Yoakum, you're one of the funniest people we have ever met. Every time we have advisory, we're always laughing at you or with you. You are not only a good friend, but a kind, caring person. You're always so positive and sweet. Where would we be without you? You're the glue that holds the Sloop Advisory together and one of the many reasons that we are truly the best advisory in the world. Your amazing party planning skills, leadership, and sometimes overwhelming amount of maturity and responsibility have blessed our advisory for 3 whole years. The time has truly gone by too quickly. Laura, as you physically move on to bigger and better opportunities in your journey, remember you'll always have a place in our advisory. We will all miss your immense love for cats and your ability to accept whatever life throws at you with open arms. You have forever changed the Sloop Advisory for the better. Although we're sad for you to leave us, we're also excited to see you become the best that you can be. Thank you for all the fantastic parties, karaoke sessions, and memories. We will truly cherish those moments forever. Even through the challenges of middle school, you stayed true to yourself and maintained a positive outlook. These are the qualities that every student and adult should look up to and embrace. Laura, you're truly a role model for everyone in our Westchester family. Our advisory will miss you more than you know, but as you leave, please remember that our door in the middle school hallway will always be open for you. Sincerely, the Sloop Advisory. Oh, but what's this? There are more letters addressed to Laura, Maggie, and Morgan. But this is weird. They say they're postmarked 2030. I wonder what's inside. This could be a job offer from NASA for Maggie. This could be a golden ticket to American Idol for Morgan. This could be a notice of the grand opening of Laura's animal rescue site. But wait, I shouldn't open them. Because I know, regardless of what's inside, their future is so bright, I gotta wear shades.
Hello teachers, parents, and fellow students. As you know, I'm Lyndon Briggs. I think I speak on behalf of all the 8th graders here by saying I can't believe that it is already our time to graduate. It feels like only yesterday that we wandered into our first class of 6th grade. We just finished our last class of middle school, but not in the way that we thought we would. We had to have our last 2 months of our 8th grade year at home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite being away from all of my classmates, I feel that this pandemic showed us how strong we were. It brought us closer together. 8th graders, we had a great middle school experience. In 7th and 8th grade, we compiled a quote board. Quotes like "Stop, describe the kitchen," "Cool moms don't shoot hoops," hashtag symbolism, "What did you learn in class today? My niece is Buddha," "Do you call this water insecurity?" and "Scrimps" were on the quote board, just to name a few. Despite the quote boards, I feel that bus rides were a very memorable part of our middle school career. Every time we drove on a bus, we would end up singing songs together. I remember singing One Direction with all of the girls in our grade while Mr. Burns drove us to our 7th grade class trip. But no matter what class trip, everyone in our grade would end up singing the song Fireflies. I don't know why, but we always did. I would give anything to be able to go back on bus number 10 and sing Fireflies with you all. I ask all of the 8th graders not to grow apart from each other. I know that some of us are going to a different high school, but I ask that we stay in touch. I also ask that we don't forget our middle school years. We became so close, and I would hate it if we drifted apart. 2 years ago, my older sister Sydney gave all of her classmates superlatives during her graduation speech. Just like her, I wanted to do the same. Harry, most likely to become famous from his jokes of the day. Ben H, most likely to become a pianist. Bennett, most likely to trend on Reddit. Charlie, most likely to become a therapist. Benedict, most likely to fix a TV by hugging it. Will, most likely to become a comedian. Tate, most likely to play a 24-hour game of baseball. Max, most likely to become a professional tennis player. Thomas, most likely to become a sci-fi writer. Ben Daniel, most likely to win Survivor. Finn, most likely to make a hand sanitizer and charcoal-flavored cereal. Addison, most likely to work at NASA and send tennis shoes into space on a Tuesday. Maggie, most likely to work at NASA and stop Addison from sending tennis shoes into space. Riley, most likely to get the Newbery Award for a book about the Kool-Aid Man. Georgia, most likely to start an Instagram account for her fridge. Mallory, most likely to hold the title of mother of the swim team. Isabella, fastest walker. Abby Keever, most likely to go to a Justin Bieber concert with Minnie while wearing her tiny hands. Abby Williamson, most likely to write a Marvel movie. Avery, best ukulele player. Ava, most likely to become verified on social media due to her vlogs. Eliza, most likely to star in a sitcom. Jaden, most likely to star as J-Lo in a story of her life. Morgan Elliott, most likely to be Gabriella in the remake of High School Musical. Morgan Grace, most likely to be on the Olympic volleyball team. Katie Grace, most likely to live at the beach. Emily, most likely to actually become a ball of sunshine. Covington, most likely to play soccer all weekend with no breaks. Kate, most likely to join a dance team in college. And Laura, most likely to run a cat cafe. Now I would like to give some advice to the rest of the middle school. First off, to my 6th graders, keep on being you and don't take your middle school years for granted. Next, for my 7th graders, don't worry about being an 8th grader. It's not as scary as it sounds. Make sure to welcome everyone and don't let being the oldest in the middle school get to your head. I would like to give a special thanks to all of our teachers in the middle school. You all are truly amazing and we are so grateful for everything that you've done for us. I would like to give a big thanks to Mr. Burns. The middle school will not be the same without you talking about Martha Ann Trotter or the deer up in West Virginia with no eyes. For those of you who don't know the joke, what do you call those deer up in West Virginia with no eyes? I have no idea. I would like to close out this speech to thank all of you for electing me as your president. I've truly enjoyed it. I'm going to miss giving announcements and spending every day with you guys. I miss you all so much, and I can't wait to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyndon. I want to take a moment to recognize Lyndon's efforts on behalf of our students and faculty. Lyndon added humor and her own personal touch to our community morning meetings with her current events, entertainment updates, and jokes of the day. She united and empowered classmates to become involved by providing a slot for their interests in each meeting. Live recorded, Lyndon shared her own love of music, but also demonstrated how to create a symphony out of many talents and instruments. She delegated to a strong group to allow them to develop their leadership skills, to explore developing our choral program, raising the flag, providing exam treats, exploring efficient options for our cafeteria, creating a weekly informational email for students, and expressing scheduling concerns to faculty members. The music they made was delightful. Lyndon, thank you for sharing your enthusiasm and leadership with us all. In celebration of your love for music, I have a small token of my appreciation for you.
My name is Mikey Schwartz, and I'm going to be your upper school president next year. 3 years ago, I was in the same position as you, a nervous and excited 8th grader about to enter upper school. And like many of you, I'm extremely disappointed that we can't have this ceremony in person. I want to give you some advice though, that is important to remember in the situation we find ourselves in and in your adventure over the next 4 years. Be thankful for the opportunities that you have and do your best to take advantage of those opportunities. You can always look at the negative side of this pandemic, or you can choose to look at the positive side and take advantage of the opportunities it has caused. We all hate not being able to see our friends, but being home has allowed us the opportunity to spend more time with our families or learn a new skill. I believe that this mentality of taking advantage of your opportunities to their fullest is extremely important in having a meaningful upper school experience. There are just so many fun activities that you can participate in. From sports to plays to clubs, there are just so many opportunities that are available to you. But unlike middle school, very few things are required, It is entirely up to you to make the most out of the experience. In upper school, there are also so many more options in the classes that you can take. So I challenge you to take a class that interests you or take a class that is going to be challenging to yourself. Once again, it is up to you to make the most out of your experience. For some of you, you may be thinking that all of this new freedom and independence is daunting. But I encourage you once again to think about it in terms of an amazing opportunity. Plus, your incredible advisors, teachers, coaches, and administrators will always be there to guide you and help you along your journey. I can speak from personal experience that even with all of the nerves and fears you might have, upper school will be an exciting experience for each of you, especially if you take advantage of all of the wonderful opportunities that are available. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing all of you walk the halls as freshmen in the fall.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. And our eyes get so red. And what does Aunt Joey said? And this is where I went to school. Most of the time it better things to do. Criminal record says I'm broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I swear I lived. Hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back, memories bring back. Would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. Cause they fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. Cause everything is never as it seems. Now look at where we at, still growing up. Still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older. Couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days. No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be
are grateful to celebrate this adventure known as middle school with you today. If you are not a recipient of an award today, please do not let that diminish your pride and confidence in all that you have accomplished this year. In the classroom and studios and on the stage and fields, you have all demonstrated growth and achieved much success. Special gratitude goes to Terry Andrews, Jackie Argo, and Deb Tuggle for their help with this ceremony. Please also share your gratitude with your parents and teachers. It's been a wonderful, exciting, challenging year. Happy summer.